Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 53rd episode of the Kpush podcast. I, uh, uh, something interesting happened to me recently. Something, relatively speaking, pretty big. So, I'm watching Better Call Saul, and if you're not watching Better Call Saul, I don't know what you're doing. But season 6 of Better Call Saul, we're in the first 3 episodes right now. The date is April 28th, and Dominic spoiled episode 3 for me. One of the biggest things ever to happen in Better Call Saul's history throughout the entire TV show. He spoiled probably one of the biggest events ever, like maybe in TV show history. And I'm gonna say what he spoiled. So you better skip like 20 seconds or like 10 seconds before I say it. I'm saying it. Spoiler warning. Season 6, Better Call Saul. 3, 2, 1. He spoiled that Nacho dies in episode 3 of Better Call Saul season 6. And, like when he did this, he did it through a text message. He said, "Rest in peace, the character that dies." And it's like, well, you dumb. You need to get deported. Like, you illegal fucking immigrant ass. You need to go back to your fucking country. What the fuck is wrong with you? So I did, as any rational human being does, I showed up at his house, put a bag over his head, threw him in the back of my car, drove out to the middle of the desert, and shot him in the face, as one does. And the weird part is that wasn't even like the craziest part. I called Noah. I called Noah after I shot Dom in the face, and I was like, "Noah, what do I do with Dom's dead body?" And he was like, "Well, just give me a second. I'll be there in like 30 minutes." So I'm sitting there with Dom's dead body. He still has braces in, and I'm like kind of laughing at the fact that he has braces in when he dies. And Noah eventually shows up, and Noah gets out of the car and runs over to Dom, and I'm like, "No, what are you doing?" And Noah takes his fucking pants off. I go, "Noah, what are you doing?" And starts to just fuck Dom, just absolutely starts to rail Dom's dead body. And I'm like, "Noah, what are you, ugh, Chris, give me just 1 second. Just 1 second, Chris. Just one." And he just is nailing Dom's asshole. And I'm like, "No, you can't. And he comes and finishes whatever in Dom's asshole. And I'm like, "All right, no, can we figure out how to hide this dead body now, please?" And Noah just starts eating him. Like, right there. Just starts eating Dom. And I was like, "What? You can't eat the whole thing. Like, there's no way you're going to be able to eat Dom's entire body." He does. He eats Dom's entire body. Like it was fucking nothing. I'm like, "Noah, what? Is this the first time you've done this?" He's like, "No." So that was fun. That was my week, right? How was yours? I haven't recorded a podcast. No, legitimately though, Dom did spoil Saul for me. I want him dead and deported. But in the same motion. But that obviously can't happen. I can't kill Dominic, piece of fucking shit. But I haven't uploaded in like 2 months. 2 months I haven't recorded a podcast in. Like what do you do? I had like a lot of shit. My grandfather died, my uncle died, and then my cat died, like all in the same 3 months. So, I just took some time off, and school has been eating my asshole. I've been working here and there. I got 2 different jobs. or I lost one of the jobs. I didn't lose one of the jobs. I quit one of the jobs. Got a new job because I hated the Burger King job. So I started working at Domino's as a pizza delivery driver. I've been working, and I fucking love that job. It's been a fucking tremendous job for me there, working there. It's been pretty easy. It doesn't ruin my week when I have to go into work. And school's gotten a lot fucking easier. I have 3 weeks left of high school, and then I'm done. I'm a senior. I got 3 weeks left of high school, and then I'm done with fucking high school. I'm so excited to be absolutely done with high school. Looking forward to my next fucking career. There are people, like my fellow students looking around me going, oh, I'm going to miss this. I'm going to miss high school. And to those people, you have to wonder, like, maybe, and just maybe, parents should abuse children. What is this? Like, truly, honestly, what is this? How are you in school for 13 years and it finally comes around? You're finally getting out, and you look around and you go, you know what? I'm going to miss this place. I'm telling you, me and my fellow peers go to different schools. Like, we're in the same building, but we have to be in different schools. Because there's no fucking way throughout any year of my entire high school, middle school, or elementary school experience where I will miss it and want to go back. And if I do want to miss it, mark my words, if I miss high school, I will buy a pistol and blow my fucking head off. There's no fucking chance. No chance. Unless I'm, like, sucking dick for heroin. That's it. That's the only time I might miss high school, is if I end up on the streets sucking dick for heroin. Then I'm never going to miss this fucking place. Because I cannot grasp, I cannot physically understand how somebody is going to miss high school. And I get that you're going to miss the people. I get that you're going to miss communities and all that dumb, stupid bullshit that people miss. But it's like, was this not terrible for you? Was showing up somewhere 6.5 hours a day, 5 days a week, they give you homework, they kind of dictate your life, just a tad. None of that bothers you? None of that bothers you. Not like a part of you is absolutely fully relieved from that. No? None of that sounds good to you or makes you want to work harder or gets you... No. Okay. Well, you... Like, age-wise, right? We're both 18. I have to be, like, 3 years ahead of you. Because there's no way... Like, I've been saying I've been done with school since 8th grade. It's 12th. I'm in 12th grade. I've been saying I was done for school for, like, 4 to 5 years now. We're like, all right, I'm ready to move on to my next part of life. And I've been here. I've been here waiting to be done with this shitty fucking experience that I have no interest in. Zero. Not a single part of me wants to wake up and go to school every day. But some other people, you know, I mean, like, when you hear that prisoners, right, adapt to living in prison, like, they don't want to leave, like Shawshank Redemption, that old guy who gets out of prison and ends up killing himself because he's been in the prison for so long that leaving the prison is like, why? Is like, what is the point of life? And I didn't think that was really ever going to happen. But looking around at my peers, seeing them missing high school, I totally understand it now. Because there's no real reason you would ever miss high school. There's none. Everyone's fake. Everyone sucks. Everyone's horny. Everyone's dumb as fuck. And you're working on bullshit paperwork that doesn't matter. And people are going to miss this. People are going to there are some people who are going to miss going into a building full of nonsense bullshit where they tell you to stare forward. You're in a building of a bunch of horny dumb fucks who are arrogant as shit, and you're going to miss it. You're going to miss it. Why? Why are you going to miss what? Like, no. Why are you going to miss this? This place that not that rarely gets shot up, right? Like, it's not rare for a high school to get shot up anymore. Like, it might happen to you. Like, a person might bring in a gun and try to kill you, and you're going to miss it. You're gonna miss it. You're gonna look back after all these 13 years of me personally wanting to bring a bomb in every day, and you're going to look back and say, you know what? Those are the best years of my life. I miss it. And I just... Because anything else is better than school. Like, scraping dog shit. I'd rather pick up cat shit for 8 hours than go to school. Like, I fucking hate that building. But some people are going to miss it. So you have to look at those people and you have to say, we're not the same, and I can't talk to you anymore. But, now that high school's ending, I forget why I initially started this conversation. But we have 3 weeks left. I need to get into the, routine of recording every single week of a podcast. I want to record 2 or 3 podcasts a week. By far, maybe 4. I want to record so many fucking podcasts. This is all I want to do. I want to do podcasts, and I want to go on stage and be a comedian. I haven't gone on stage yet. I said I was going to go on stage in October. I ended up calling a bunch of places. They were all shut down during COVID. I've given up on New England. I've given up on Boston. I've given up on high school. And I, fell into this state of depression where I was not recording podcasts. And my mental health got way fucking worse because of it. And even talking to myself, I knew I needed to record podcasts. I knew that's what I needed. But there were so many excuses. And you can say they're shit. Some people won't. I'll say they're fucking dog shit. But I had all these dumb bullshit reasons not to record podcasts. Like, my grandpa died, and so did my cat in the same week. So I didn't feel like doing podcasts. And also, I felt so mentally drained from school. I was so exhausted from doing school and working at the same time that I didn't want to put any work into this. And also, starting a relationship. I'm in my first actual serious relationship that's gone on for 9 months, and we have plans and futures and all this shit, and it's like work. Like, I didn't think a relationship would be this much work. It's fucking work. It's a lot of work, and I like it, but holy fucking shit, I'm doing a lot, and figuring out how to balance all these things with podcasting has been a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be. But now that high school is ending, and that's off my plate, I want to fill all the time and all the effort I was putting into school into this type of shit, and the stuff I like doing, and stuff that makes me money. Those are the 2 things I want to do. I want to put all the effort I've been putting in, and I've been working, 12 hours? So that's, 45 hours a week with school? And I know people argue that school isn't work. I will disagree. But, all that effort that I was putting into school and working will now just be working and doing shit that I love and shit that hopefully I can do in the future for money and for success and to express and all that other beautiful, gorgeous shit. But I just kept falling into these excuses. And then after, I was getting over my grandfather and my cat and my all that dumb shit, I got this audio interfacer and I couldn't figure it out for the first couple months. Every time I tried to pick it up, I would get frustrated, couldn't figure it out. I finally figured it out. I lost cords. I think Dominic ate the fucking cords. And if I can't find these cords, I'm gonna go fucking ballistic. I might fucking stab somebody because I'm so fucking angry because I take care of that fucking shit. I fucking had this cords in my fucking basement, in this room. I kept the cords in this fucking room, and I didn't fucking touch them for months on edge because I was waiting to get an audio interfacer. And yet, for whatever reason, they're not fucking here. So these mics that I bought specifically, that they were USB and they were also adaptable for audio interfacers, I don't know where those fucking cords are. I have one of them, and they're right fucking here. I don't know where the other one is. I have no idea. No clue. I think they're at Dominic's, or my retarded mother came down and threw out a box that had one of these cards in it. I have no idea. But now that I have the audio interface set up, high school's ending. I'm in a better mental state. I've been in a relationship for a really long time now at this point. It's time. It's time to get back into this. I can't get out of a routine this time. I have to start recording weekly. I have to. And if I don't, I will go insane. I will feel like dog shit. My mental health will go down the fucking drain. And I just have to do this. And holy Christ, does this audio sound so good. Got this brand new microphone, a brand new audio interfacer. I've never heard my voice sound this good in microphones. Ever. I've never heard it this good. So I wanted to hop on. I wanted to test out this fucking awesome audio interfacer that I've been waiting for since the start of the podcast. And I'm here now. I got everything I wanted. I have everything I wanted. I've ran out of excuses. I have zero excuses. And my excuses to begin with were dog shit. I'm not arguing that. But I have none left. None. And I'm so ready, or at least I think I'm ready, to really dedicate myself to this and really dedicate myself to podcasting. And Dominic is just so excited to get on with this new life. I've never heard anyone more excited than anything with Dominic continuing our future. And I'm just so excited to really, really start my life. And also, I had this weird thing with being 17 and having a podcast, because there was a point when I was recording all these podcasts and doing all these talking and all this different type of shit where I was like, I shouldn't be talking. Nobody wants to hear my opinion right now. I'm only 17 years old, and what the fuck do I know? I know nothing, which I would argue that I know a lot more than my peers other at 17, but I still don't know anything in like a perspective of somebody who's 30, who's even 40, who's 50, and all these different types of people who are a lot older than me, and they just have a lot more experience, and I felt overwhelmed by that, and I didn't feel comfortable talking, thinking that, I don't have a place to talk. I shouldn't be talking right now. And having that in the back of your mind, it was really hard coming to this table and starting to record. But once you turn 18, once you are getting ready to live on your own, it's like, well, when is a good place now? If right now isn't a good place, when is a good place to get started and recording podcasts? And I think right now is a great time to get started. I've ran out of excuses, and I'm just ready. I'm just ready to get right back into my working ethic and getting back on track in my life of where I want to be physically, where I want to be mentally, and really fucking taking care of myself and, progressing. But I don't know where I was going with this, and I'm running out of stuff to say right now. So we're gonna change the topic because there was one more thing I wanted to say, but one of the problems when you do these things, a little fucked up because here's what I wanted to say, and then I got into this like a month thing of like, I should be doing podcasts, but and this is gonna sound really really corny, is once you leave podcasts, coming back and getting back into the rhythm of recording podcasts is actually really fucking difficult because you're on this momentum when you start recording podcasts weekly where you're like, okay, this is my schedule, this is what I do, I talk, you go about life thinking about what you're going to talk about on the podcast, and then you fall out of that routine, and this is going to sound corny as fuck, but you just have to jump right back in. You just have to do it. You just have to like say, hey, this sucks, this is awkward, and this isn't like recording right now. It's not gonna sound as smooth as it was when I was recording every single week. And that muscle is built in there of being able to talk alone for 45 minutes. Once you develop that muscle of just ranting and talking talking what you think. So talking exactly what pops into your brain. You're not going to lose that muscle, but it's choppier. It's, like when you're riding a bike and you ride it every single day, there's a smoothness to it. You get in this routine and you're better at riding a bike for whatever reason. And you'll never fully forget how to ride a bike. You'll always know how to ride a bike. But if you don't ride a bike for months on end, you're going to be choppy when you first get back into it. And that's what I feel like right now is I feel choppy. I don't feel as smooth, and I don't feel as I'm looking for a word here right now. Cognitive? No, that's congruent. I don't feel like the podcast doesn't feel as congruent as the other podcasts where like a podcast would end, and then the next week you kind of picked up where you left off. And I'm picking up where I left off 2 months ago. So it's a lot harder, and the longer you wait, the harder it is to get right back into it. So it's just, and it sounds corny, you just have to get right back into it and suck it up and get through the first, couple episodes, because by the fourth episode, you are smooth with talking. You're in the mindset of making podcasts. You're thinking about what you're going to say on podcast. You're always thinking of topics. You're writing topics down when you see something that you want to talk about. And you're just not in the same mindset. You're not in the same headspace. But I'm ready to get back into that headspace because I always feel better when I'm back in that headspace. And I just want to come on here and do like a 45-minute solo podcast to really get through all this choppiness and to tell everyone where I'm at and to fucking say some dumb shit, talk about Ozark and Better Call Saul because God damn it, I'm fucking obsessed with both of those shows right now, and the fact that we're getting both of these last seasons, right, in this year is just crazy to me. I mean, I think I will argue 2022 is the best year for television in history ever so far. I will argue that till I fucking die, because we're getting season 6 of Saul, we're getting season 4 of Ozark, we got some of season 4 of Attack on Titan, we've gotten Peacemaker, Boba Fett, we're getting Obi-Wan. And we're getting all these fucking insane TV shows. And I'm just sitting back here as an audience member looking at all this shit, and it's just so fucking great. I mean, everything that's coming out is so good. Movies are dead, for sure, but TV is alive. I mean, and it is going so well. It's working so fucking great. And I'm excited as a TV film watcher, and I want to talk about Saul. This is what I want to say. Basically what I'm trying to say here is, holy shit, Better Call Saul is the best TV show ever made in history. And it's not an opinion anymore. That's a fact. Right? It's better than Breaking Bad. It's number one. For sure, it's Better Call Saul better than Breaking Bad. Hands down. Hands down. Is Better Call Saul better than Breaking Bad. And I am so excited to watch the end of this show. I mean, I am in this like early 2000 or late 2000s, early 2000s of like waiting and watching on live television. I've never done that for a TV show before. I just fucking watched it streaming. I did that with Breaking Bad. I'm doing that with Orange is the New Black. I'm not used to waiting for TV shows. And the fact that I'm waiting for Better Call Saul makes the experience so much more unique. It makes it so much better. And, I mean, these past 2 seasons, right, or even 3 seasons of Better Call Saul, because Season 4 was tight as fuck, too. These past 3 seasons, and we haven't seen the ending of Season 6 yet, but holy fuck. I mean, holy fuck. There's not a TV show like this, where you watch an episode, and you go, wow, that was perfect. That, like, nothing was wrong with that episode. You can't change a single thing and make it better. And which is what I always do. Whenever I watch film, I always look at things and I'm like, that's a little off, that's a little off. That could be improved on. That's not perfect. When I watch Better Call Saul, though, and I watch an episode and I think to myself, wow. Every moment, every second, every shot was so on point perfect. I don't know how you make it better. I've never seen anything like that before for me. Ever, where I'm like, wow. Wow, that was legit one of the best things I've ever seen. And it's been consistent for the past 6 episodes. The end of Season 5 into the beginning of Season 6 so far, the episodes are just crazy. They're just out of this fucking world amazing. And unless you watch that show, I don't think words can describe it. Really, I don't think words can do Better Call Saul justice. So, Ozark as well. Jason Bateman in that show is maybe one of the most entertaining actors ever. Like, aside from Leonardo DiCaprio playing the Wolf on Wall Street, this might be the most entertaining character. Just so interesting, so complex, and other than Saul Goodman. So complex, so interesting, so unique. I mean, just steals every scene he's in. It's so, the character development, everything is so good and on point. And I haven't even started Season 4 yet. Okay, so for Ozark, I've only seen the first 3 seasons. And the 3rd season of Ozark is just fucking amazing. I mean, the last 2 episodes of Ozark were some of the best television I've seen in a while. And it was so entertaining. So good. And I don't know. Like, the fact that we're getting both of those TV shows this year, we're so spoiled. We're so spoiled with entertainment. If you want to keep watching fucking Marvel, like, what are you doing? Why? Why would you ever watch something Marvel when you could be watching literally any other TV show right now? Literally any other. Moon Knight's out. I hear dog shit. My friend says it's fucking... Nassim says it's fucking dog shit. There's no way in fucking hell am I checking out Moon Knight. The CGI looks dog shit on it. And, you know... Isaac Newton apparently gives his amazing performance and whatever, but it doesn't matter. The MCU has too many flaws, and they're like ticks. They have like ticks. Like, they can't help themselves. They have to make a serious scene somehow funny. They can't help themselves. And it's so embarrassing to fucking watch at this point. And the amount of 30-year-old men who insist it's like the best cinema ever is just so embarrassing. I'm so over it. I'm glad that it seems to be dying down and DC seems to be winning, and DC's doing some original films. I mean, the Batman was a legitimate original film that, hasn't really been done before. The Joker, was a legitimate original film that hasn't really been done before. The Suicide Squad. And these movies aren't perfect. I'm not saying that they're perfect, but they are original. They are unique. They aren't like every other movie. The Batman and the Suicide Squad could not be more different movies. And they came out a year apart. And they're made by the same company. And I don't know if they're in the same universe. I don't know how DC's sorting that whole shit out. But, I mean, it is so unique from one another. And that's what people want to see. They don't want to see the same thing over and over and over and over again. And that shit works for only a certain amount of time. And that's why the MCU works so well, because they did the exact same thing for 10 years. And up until Infinity War, a large percentage of people still was fucking with it. They still just wanted to see the exact same superhero bullshit over and over and over again. But that shit's done. That shit's dead. Nobody wants to watch that anymore, because it gets boring after a while. You doing the exact same thing after a period of 10 years when everybody's been paying attention, nobody wants to see that anymore. It's just not entertaining. When you have boring cinematography, when you don't have that great of effects anymore in comparison to some other movies, when the characters are just the same, when the scenes are just the same, the dialogue is so similar from one another, it becomes insanely boring. And now people are going to DC. And not only that, but Marvel's ruined for like a bunch of different reasons. There's genuinely good TV shows with superheroes out there now. There's genuinely unique TV shows and movies with good superhero shit out now. You have, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which was Marvel, but it was a Sony's animated show. And it was unique, and people fucking loved that movie. People loved the Suicide Squad, and the Batman and Joker, which are all unique movies, and they really fucking enjoy it. And there's also TV shows now. There's Invincible, which is Amazon Prime. There's The Boys, which is Amazon Prime. Both TV shows that take a completely different look at superheroes in a completely different way, and it's so unique and fucking entertaining and so good. And like some of the shit from Invincible and The Boys have some of my favorite scenes of film. Like the scene with Omni-Man beating the shit out of Mark is one of the most powerful scenes I've ever seen. And it's so entertaining to fucking watch. And not only that, but like it's one of those moments in film where it's like hard to capture. It's hard to capture how fucking epic it is. And yet it's fucking right there. And these types of movies and TV, and Daredevil's a great example. Even though Daredevil's Marvel, but it was from fucking Netflix. And, Disney Plus is doing this thing where they bought all of Netflix originals, Marvel TV shows. And all those TV shows are better than anything the MCU has to offer. Like all the movies and Disney Plus shows, the Netflix TV shows are all way better. All of them. Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, all of them are way better. Every single one of them. And now you have options. And this is one of the things that MCU doesn't really have. And like, the thing was that DC's movies used to be so dog shit, like Batman vs. Superman, Man of Steel, the original Suicide Squad, not the Suicide Squad, just Suicide Squad with Will Smith. That movie fucking sucked. All three of the movies I just said all fucking were terrible. And the MCU had better movies every single year, all better than those movies. And it's like, now we have a choice. Now you can pay attention to MCU, or now you can watch Invincible Invincible and The Boys. What are you going to watch? Are you going to watch The Boys? Or are you going to watch the Winter Soldier new show? And if it's the Winter Soldier, like, you're retarded. You are retarded. It's just not more entertaining. It's just not. There's nothing more entertaining about the MCU now than just the TV show The Boys. It's just not. And Marvel's definitely fucking taking a hit right now, which is good in some ways because I think they're going to focus a lot more on Star Wars. Like, Disney's going to focus so much more on Star Wars because I think Marvel's finally somewhat run its course. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for Marvel has legitimate competition. So I'm so glad for Marvel because now they're actually going to have to make good TV shows, good movies, or they're going to be out of business. And Star Wars is going to get all their money. And to me, that's awesome. To me, that brings joy to my fucking ears. Some of the shit that's going on in the news, though, aside from film, Elon Musk just bought Twitter. So that happened. So Donald Trump's going to get let back on. Mila's probably going to get let back on. Everyone who's been banned for, like, bullshit reasons is they're getting let back on. Twitter is good again. Twitter's going to be a good social media with Elon Musk. And God forbid if it's private, if Elon Musk makes Twitter a private company, that company is going to be completely different. I don't think it's going to be recognizable from what it is 2 years from now. Like how Twitter was in 2022 from what Twitter was in 2014. They're two unrecognizable sites. The things people would say, the things people would talk about, the way people would say shit, it's completely different. Completely. And Elon wants to bring that free speech back. And now I'm somewhat excited because if these billionaires like Elon and just buy these companies and make them free speech, like this whole complaining about free speech, not surviving and all that, that's going to be over. So we're going to hear less people complain. We're going to have more people's opinions out there, which is always a good thing. And then on top of that, we're going to have real competition again. We're going to have real competition with social medias because if I'm downloading Twitter, I've never had Twitter. I never wanted Twitter. Now I want Twitter. And that's going to be a big fucking thing. And there are people leaving Twitter. Like, I think Mark Hamill posted a tweet like, lost 8,000 followers because people are deleting their accounts. Which, that's the thing. Twitter's filled with a bunch of losers who care that Elon... Like, if you cared at all that Elon Musk, and that genuinely upsetted you to the point where you deleted your Twitter account, you are a loser. You're a fucking loser. And the fact of the matter is that people who aren't losers are going to start using Twitter now. Like me, okay? Because I'm a fucking winner, okay? I'm the best man of all time ever to live. And now I'm joining Twitter because of Elon Musk. And Elon Musk single-handedly got the best man ever to join Twitter, me. And that's very important, okay? That's extremely important to that company. And I just think that this is going to have a much more different impact than I think people will recognize, and it won't be this day-night change. I think in 6 months you're going to notice a difference, and it's not going to hit you overnight, but it will slowly start to hit you. On top of Twitter, because apparently to some people, Twitter is the biggest news ever, and Elon buying Twitter is the most horrible thing to ever happen to this country ever. World War III is about to happen. Still, Russia's still invading Ukraine. They still haven't come to like some sort of peace treaty. New York Times is saying Russia's lost. It has been losing the whole time. So Russia's been losing for 2 months, and they won't pull back, according to the New York Times. So God forbid, I have no fucking idea what's going to happen there. I think that we got 7 years left on this earth. We have Tim Dillon's right. We have 7 years for this country. Do drugs, have sex with a lot of people, and just live it out. You might have 7 years left in this country, and you might have 10 years left on the rest of the world. You don't have as much time as people are telling you. And if it's not a nuclear warfare that takes you out, it's gonna be like global warming, or isn't Yellowstone that volcano? It's supposed to erupt like tomorrow. We're dead. We're dead. We're dead. Asteroid will hit us. Global warming, nuclear warfare, a civil war will happen in this country if none of those things happen. We're done. We are done. Watch Saw. Take a couple pills. Watch Saw and Ozark while you can, and accept the fact that we're gonna die, because there's nothing else to do anymore. There's nothing. There's nothing else to do anymore. And now I'm thinking about how I'm going to start recording with more people without this fucking cord. I'm gonna lose my fucking shit over not knowing where this fucking cord is, because I know I had the fucking boxes, and I know for a fact my mom threw them out. My fucking mom. Bitch. Killer. I'm joking. Somewhat. But, yeah, we have World War III going on. It's about to start at any point. Elon bought Twitter. Saw. Ozark. School. What else? School's been bullshit. It was the longest time ever before spring break started. I'm just getting off of spring break. Before spring break started, it was the longest point in school ever for me. I really hated being there, to a point I didn't think was possible. But we're like done now. And I can focus on recording podcasts now again. So, that's cool. I don't think I got anything else. At the beginning of intros, you're going to start hearing the Better Call Saul intro. So, at the beginning of every one of my podcasts, I'm getting that song eventually in the future. I will buy the license to that song for like $15 probably. And at the beginning of every podcast I have, you will hear the Better Call Saul intro. So, that will be fun. I'm really trying to make it to 45 minutes here. I'm at 43 and 49 seconds. So, let's just wait it out. Let's just wait out this last minute, because it was my goal. I want to make it, and we're gonna do it. We got 55 seconds left, just about. Sometimes I like to itch my asshole. From time to time, I like to stroke my penis. Dominic is a prick who should die still. Should be deported to Mexico. I will never forgive him for spoiling Saul for me. It will be on the next topic we hear. I'm really done with this pod. I have nothing else left to say. We got 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's 45 minutes. I'm done recording. Thank you for watching the 53rd podcast episode. I hope it was not terrible and shitty. But you watched it if you got to this point. So suck my balls. Goodbye.